I'd like to welcome you all today for the, what do you call this, the 2019 installation of the new president, Stephanie. And the, what do they call me, de-installation? What's that? I don't know what that is.
Well, I think you're still president until July 1st.
Oh, president until July 1st? Okay. So I get the pleasure of introducing the folks at the head table. So on the end is Steve Sager, who's our district governor, also until July 1st. And then he's also going to be our speaker today. He's going to say a few words about a great trip he led to Guatemala to build stove.
John, sorry. Can you speak up just a tad?
Okay, noisy. I will try and speak up. So Steve Sager, everybody on the end knows. This is Elliot. Elliot's been our district governor for our district assistant governor for the past year. He is also going to be the incoming president at Westboro, which is his second time as president, but I guess it was at Sharon the first time, is that right? And this is Cliff Gerber. I think we all know Cliff. We all know Stephanie. This is Stephanie's husband, Michael. He's also a banker, but at a competitive bank. And we all know Owen. Barbara Guthrie, who is the incoming president in Worcester, also her second time. Wasn't that long ago either, right, Barbara?
No, about 3 years ago.
About 3 years ago. She's also been a key member of the From My Heart book committee that Stu has led for us. And Betsy Moakland, who is the president of the Westboro Club now, although she works in Worcester, she told me this morning. I thought you still worked at the Y in Westboro. And we all know Matt, who takes care of our money. So what the agenda says is reflections on the year. But when I thought about the year, the only thing I could really think about was thanking everybody for what they've done. Thank you all for the privilege of letting me be your president. And Stephanie and I decided that there were a few special thank yous that we wanted to offer, which is also a way of sort of reviewing some of the highlights of the year. Mark is in the back too. Mark Sierra is in the back filming today. You're going to actually put this on cable, Mark? Just don't tell anybody when.
We'll let you know.
So in no particular order, we have gifts for Craig, who was basically our one-man band as the calendar chair, and also is quick to volunteer for virtually any committee that we have, whether it be a fundraising committee or a service committee. Thank you, Craig. We have a gift for Julie, who does a lot of stuff in the background that many of you never see. She's also our foundation chair. She's writing the district grant for our application for next year. She organizes and volunteers for a lot of events, and she's also the organizer for our Veterans Day event. Lori, who I saw, there's Lori, who has led our visioning, been our visioning champion, I think that's the official title, for the last 3 years. So thank you very much for doing that, Lori. Judy, she was sitting right there. Where'd she go? Oh, there she is over here. Judy, who we all know is our organizer, our lead recruiter. I think she's on virtually every committee that we have. If she's not on a committee, it's probably because she doesn't know we have it. So thank you, Judy. And Cliff, your bag is not nearly as fancy because I wrapped it. Stephanie did the other bags. All I did was a card. So Cliff, we want to thank you for everything you do every day, every week, and every year. This club just probably wouldn't even be here without you. So
Here, here.
And Beth, I think Beth, you know Beth led our freshman project. I think Beth is a leader or co-leader of every fundraising project that we do and on many of our committees. So it's been a pleasure to have you in the club for the last couple of years. So yeah, so thank you very much, Beth. And to Barbara, who has done one of those thankless jobs of organizing our speakers for the last 3 years. She's done excellent job of that. I hope Judy and I can do an equally good job going forward. So it's just one of those things the president didn't have to worry about with Barbara in charge of speakers. So thank you, Barbara. And we have a gift for Kathy, but Kathy's not here today. So Kathy, she's in France. Good for her. I'm sure she would have. She's been leading the organization of our foundation this past year, which we have created and is now available for donation. So we will give her a gift first time we see her. So thank you all to Kathy. So one more thing, Rashid has a presentation he wants to make. We were going to do it at the end, but he has to leave early. So you're up.
Did you want a picture of all those people?
Let's do it at the end.
Very good.
Thank you, Don. I don't really have a particular presentation. I just want to thank everyone, particularly who participated in the last Sunday event we had on, basically the idea was we're doing Eid festival with basically the end of Ramadan, but we also wanted to invite the charities, so we had Rotary, folks came there, and I would like to have their input on how they think the event went. But we had about 10 different charity organizations in the event, and we collected some funds behind the scene without really doing a kind of big fundraiser. So we collected some checks the other day, and we have some more checks here. And I just want to present these checks to Judy. Don.
I'll give them to me.
Yes.
That's fine. Thank you very much.
So we collected about 1,700 or so that day, and this is another 1,100.
Wow, great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So one of the other Shrewsbury organizations, Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services, was there too, and I actually have their checks. I don't know if anybody.
Yeah, she's here.
Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services there. That's about 1,850. Thank you.
Thank you.
Want to mention
Yeah.
honor that you gave us?
So we also had, given some awards to some of the organizations who participated, who have been doing really a great job, great service to the community, and Rotary is definitely one of them. And we developed this plaque for Excellence Service Award, and we gave that to the team. Again, I think we had an event which was kind of multi-dimensional, multicultural, and it was kind of for everybody. I mean, we had kids show, we had food, we had different kind of vendors, and we had some charity event, and then we had some music at the end, and of course food was there as well. So we had about 400, 500 people. We booked for 500 people. I think we got about 400, 500 people. And it was a great event, and we are very grateful for your participation. Every single time we do an event like that, we invite you, and you're there. And honestly, people are very excited and happy. Not everybody could just come to the meeting because people have, especially in the daytime, schedule. But the most important thing for me was that we had people from dozens of towns. They were not all from Shrewsbury or Westboro. The event was in Marlborough, but the communication disseminated, and I got several calls from several other Rotary clubs that they got donations from because if people are from Westford or from other towns, they like to give to their own club. But as long as they donated and they got more active and motivated, that's all. So that's really the key. That when you excuse me. When you come to the event, and we present as a Rotary, we don't really say Rotary Club of Shrewsbury, so people from other towns also feel it's their own. So basically, then they connect with their own town. So that just kind of give a good display, and also you guys always had a good booth and a lot of people, so that really give opportunity to have one-on-one discussion. So for me, honestly, I think it was uplifting from that point of view. Then we were able to disseminate the message and motivate more people to do more good work. So that's really great, and I'm thankful and grateful for that. I appreciate that you are participating in those activities. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Steve. share a few thoughts about your trip.
Sure, I'd love to. Hi, everyone. Great to be back here. First, I'd like to congratulate Don on what a wonderful year your whole club had. You really did a great job. This whole district has really done a lot this year. And, you were an outstanding example of how you connect Rotary with the community and do good in everything you do. And it's always fun to come here with all my friends. So I just want to talk for a few moments. This year we had our district global grant project, was a trip to Guatemala to install stoves in order to reduce respiratory illness in the Mayan communities around Lake Atla. It was a great project. Like everything else we do, there's more involved than you think. I mean, I had this idea of just doing something really simple to help mitigate respiratory disease, have a stove project. Getting the global grant going was a bigger challenge than anyone anticipated because they changed the rules. And we thought if we got the application in early, the new rules wouldn't apply to us, but they said, no, we want to use you as a test case to figure it out. And a test case they did, because they kept coming back and trying different things to see how we respond to it. And it took forever to go through, but we made it through the process. We learned a lot about getting through the global grant process with the foundation. And we got $52,000 to go down to Guatemala. Now, I think I told many of you about what the whole idea of the project was, but the stoves are simply wood-burning stoves. They're meant to replace the open fires that the people use. And we knew about that they had these open campfires in their homes that they cooked on. And these stoves are cinder block based, they have a combustion chamber, they still burn wood, but it's vented outside, so it reduces the respiratory illness. We got down, and it's the communities we did, they're Mayan communities around Lake Atla. One of the most beautiful lakes on earth. I mean, it is formed by a volcanic caldera and is surrounded by four active volcanoes, like 3 of them are active in the area. So everywhere you look, the scenery is just beautiful. And then you go up the hills, and there are these Mayan communities. They live in the typical adobe huts that are there. The size of the hut is typically, maybe 10 by 10, 12 by 12. It's a good sized room, but it's for a family of 10. Typically there's 2 siblings, either 2 sisters or 2 brothers living there, their spouses, and 3 or 4 children each. And there are 3 or 4 beds there. This is one room. They don't have like separate kitchen, dining room, bedroom. It's just one room where they all live. It's a dirt floor. And they have these basically mud brick walls that they have built up. Some of the newer homes have synth block walls. That's there. And there's a corrugated steel roof that they put on it. There's no electricity. Sometimes they have a community wire, like an extension cord that goes from the center of town to some of the things. Literally, it's like an extension cord. Yeah. But most of them don't have that. And in the corner of their home, they have a place that they put a fire, and they call it a 3-stone stove. And what it really is a trivet that has 3 legs on it with a little plate on top. And they put their pots on there, they put their cans on there, and they're burning wood. And the walls around it are black. The ceiling going all the way up to the ceiling. They're cooking inside, it's not vented. You look inside the house, and you see these particles of soot just hanging out there. They're breathing this in day in and day out. The incidence of COPD and other respiratory diseases were just skyrocketing. So when we got there, we knew that this was really going to be a good thing. It was going to help them. That took probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on the site work, to put in the stove. We had teams of 3 people going in and building these things. We got 100 stoves done in basically a week's worth of work, which was phenomenal. And we left another 85 down there that the club from Guatemala, that was our host club, was actually going to install themselves. So it was wonderful working with these people, but the best thing was meeting the people that we were serving. They were so excited to see us. They were really happy. We knew it made an impact in their lives. But the people did not speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish either, but they speak Suduil, which is one of the Mayan languages. There are 13 Mayan languages. So they spoke Suduil. So we had to have an interpreter come in to every place we went and address the people. And they would translate. We would speak in English. The person would translate from English to Spanish. Then somebody else would translate from Spanish to Suduil and stuff like that. And then they would go. Typically what would happen is, they knew in advance when we were installing the servers. One of the kids would typically run out after we started doing the site work. A few moments later, the father would come in, and he would be talking a mile a minute in Suduil. I don't speak a word of Suduil, and he doesn't speak a word of English, but you know what? Immediately we knew exactly what everybody was saying. There's just, 80% of all communication is body language anyway. It's nonverbal. We knew. They were saying, thank you. I can't believe you're doing this for our families. Do you know what an impact this is going to have? And we were saying, hey, thanks, it's like, but we were able to communicate without knowing a word of each other's language. And it was just like such a wonderful experience. We brought down a dozen people from up here, Rotarians from here. Half of them had never gone on an international project before. And even the ones who've done international projects have never gone to native Mayan villages where they saw this level of subsistence living. And the first couple of days, a lot of the people who came down were so emotionally distraught until they realized these are just normal people living normal lives. And we're helping them, and they're really happy that we're helping them. It's not like they had something and they lost it. This is how they live, and we're helping better. It was really a good feeling. Every one of us came back feeling that we actually accomplished something. We actually helped the world, and we got a better understanding of what Rotary is and how it connects the world. And we have friends that we've made forever then. It was a wonderful experience. Best news is when we were down there, we discovered another project that they need in the area. And we've just got approved for a global grant of $320,000 to do a water project, water and sanitation in the schools in 6 departments in their equivalent states in Guatemala. And so we were a little late to the game, but they were complaining that we would be the only international partner that was actually coming down to do work there. So we signed up for it. So next March, we're going to bring another group of people down to the same. We got to pick the region. We're doing the same region, different village, but same region. We're going to build gender-segregated bathrooms in schools down here and teach about mental health and all that. And the reason that's important is one of the things that happens is there's a huge dropout rate in schools when women start to have their periods, girls start to have their periods. There's no menstrual education down there, and typically, when you have a pit toilet and they go to school, they really are embarrassed and they don't want to deal with having, so they drop out of school. They don't go back. And in other villages where they've done this, they've had gender segregated bathrooms, running water, sanitation, and all that. They actually go ahead and the kids stay in school longer. So there's going to be a huge benefit to going down. We'll have announcements about that coming up pretty soon, and we'll bring another team from up here. So if you want to, we could do some travels, especially if people have been to Guatemala. I wonder who that would be. Anyway, that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take them, but it was really a great trip. It's been a great year, and thank you all for your support.
Be here. You want to go ahead and do your thing? Yeah. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to be after installation. We could do the installation now, whichever you
Oh,
want
do
to
you
do.
want to do the installation?
Yeah, well, lunch isn't quite ready, so why don't we go ahead and do it? Does that make sense, Cliff?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just pull it up.
We said lunch at 12:45, so it should be here in 5 minutes.
All right, so why don't we come up, as long as we have time and I still have the floor. I can exercise my privilege and just keep talking. We're going to do the installation of Stephanie. And, Dawn, you've had a wonderful year. Thank you very much. And now the best part is turning over the reins to somebody else. You brought the club forward, and now it's time for somebody else to come in and move the ball even further. So, Stephanie, you've been selected by the members of the Rotary Club of Shrewsbury to lead this club over the next year. And it's an important responsibility that has been entrusted to you. Most importantly, it's a sign of the faith and confidence that these members have in your leadership abilities, knowing that you're going to be able to help move the ball forward, relying on what Dawn has done, building from there, and having a great year. And it's a testament to your leadership skills and ability. You've also been qualified. You've attended the President-elect training seminar. I know DG Pam has spoken to you, or DGE Pam. She's not DG yet, but it's wishful thinking on my part. Soon. You've gone to the pre-PEDS training, President-elect orientation. You have your team together. You've been preparing for this. You're ready. So please raise your right hand. Stephanie, do you freely and voluntarily accept and understand the charges of the office of president to which you've been elected? Will you work with diligence for the betterment of this club?
I do.
And will you seek out and rely upon the assistance of your officers and directors in executing your duties as president?
I do.
Okay, repeat after me. I, Stephanie Luz.
I
Yeah,
Stephanie Luz.
Do solemnly pledge that I will faithfully execute the office of president of the Rotary Club of Shrewsbury.
I do. What was it? Did I do?
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
I solemnly pledge that I will faithfully execute
I solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute
the office of the president of the Rotary Club of Shrewsbury.
the office of the president of the Rotary Club of Shrewsbury.
Do you want me to change that to a different club? Uphold the Constitution, articles, organizations, and bylaws of this club.
Uphold the Constitution, articles, and bylaws of this club.
Perfect. Administer the duties of the office of president to the best of my ability.
Administer the duties of president to the best of my ability.
And in a businesslike and highly ethical manner.
In a businesslike and ethical manner.
I will do my best to support DG Pam.
I'll do my
and
best to support
Rotary
DG Pam and the
International.
Rotary International.
So on behalf of the members of the Rotary Club of Shrewsbury, I hereby declare you duly installed as president of the Rotary Club of Shrewsbury for the 2019-2020 Rotary year.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So now you have the mic.
All
Right.
right. See if I've memorized this. So first I want to say thank you all for coming. We really appreciate you taking your time to be here today. And I'd like to thank Don for his amazing leadership this past year. You've done a fantastic job, and I think everyone in the club agrees that you've been excellent at leading this club to great success. So I'm excited to follow the lineup of the great people who have provided guidance for our club, and will continue to build that upon us. For this year's district grant project, our club has partnered with St. Anne's Human Services to provide a minimum of 100 backpacks to children in need in Shrewsbury. So St. Anne's has been providing this service for the past, I don't know how many years, for the people that are part of their food service. And they've ran out of money to be able to provide backpacks for grades K through 12. So our club has partnered with them this year and to apply for our district grant and be able to fund that for the club. So we're going to be holding back to school supply drives at Avidia, at Unibank, Central One, Shrewsbury Chiropractic, so to be able to help and offset that cost for St. Anne's Services. So hopefully our grant will get approved for the year, and that'll offset the cost of what the 100 backpacks will cost for the club. In 2020, we will continue to, 2019-2020, we will continue to focus on growing our membership. It's important that we continue to grow, develop our members by attending RLI and working on retention. We also want to increase our visibility within our community and show all the great work that we do. We're going to be adding different projects also with St. Anne's. We've added our town cleanup day that we did in the past. There'll be other events that are going to be coming up in the community that we'll be able to participate and help out as needed. And then focus on our fundraising. Now that we have our 501c3, we can go after our bigger donations and grow our foundation account that we have. We have a great club. I encourage all our members to bring forward ideas on projects that you hear about in the community so that we are able to help out and be out there more. We do a lot of projects. When Dan and I started looking at our list, we thought we had, 5 or 6, but we actually have more than 10
Right.
projects that we do throughout the year. So when you think of all the little things we do, they all add up. And there's definitely room for us to be able to do more. And this year, I look forward to a fun year of fellowship and making better friendships within our club while continuing our path of giving within our local community. So thank you all for coming today.